I'm going to try it again.
Sorry.
And, it's my third year. I love it here. There's nothing like it. And, for those that are just starting out, I welcome you and I'm just so happy that you're here.
Mar, thank you.
Thank you.
And I will tell you guys, Mar is a 1, 2, 3, 3 or 4 time trip earner with the company. So she has been to Hawaii, she's been to Cabo, she's been to Paris. No, I'm messing up.
Paris and Dublin, but I missed Cabo.
Oh, well,
So
you jerk.
I know.
That's perfectly fine. 3 trips. So who wants to go to Hawaii? Who wants to go to Paris? Who wants to go to Dublin? So anyway, and Mark came into the business. Did you have experience? I can't remember.
Yes, I had a little bit of experience, but it had been like 8 years. And and it was in home back then. So this was
Okay.
my first time trying online, so which was a really good format for me. So
And do you feel that your success versus other places, like how does it compare?
I really feel the success here at Park Lane. It's just been a win-win for me. At the previous company, I always felt like I had to always my numbers always had to be up. So this time around at Park Lane, it's like I've gone up a few percentages, and it's been really nice to not have to worry about that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll explain what MAR means, right? Or what MAR is sharing at Park Lane. And I'll talk about this today. For all of our newbies, when our first promotion level up is called branch, okay? And it's having one person join your team. And there's a couple little qualifications, okay? I'm not going to get into that because you're going to be like in one ear and out the other. But you go from 30% commission to 35% commission. And you never go backwards. So that's what she means. Like every bump she's had 3 promotions. Every bump up she's had, you never go backwards, even if your team diminishes or if you yeah, I mean, I guess that's the only thing. We don't start over every month, okay? And my previous company, that's how it was for me as well. So Tracy's nodding her head. Tracy has come to us with other experience. So she, that speaks to you. So it's a really special thing here because we are an incentive-based company, not a fear-based company. And it really does kind of keep your mind at ease and you can focus on the issue at task. So, okay. Well, I am excited to have all of you guys here. Jeanette, thank you for reminding me to record because I did have some ask. So welcome to Park Lane. This is our Dreamcatchers team. Let me actually open the chat because I want you guys to feel free to write in there any questions you have. Our greater team, which is direct to corporate, is our Treasure Tribe. And we are the largest team at Park Lane and the fastest growing. And so if you heard already, type a 1 in the comments if you got a text from Tish Mefford with our boards app. That is who texted you. She's the leader of our our Treasure Tribe. The boards app is our app that we have that houses all of our Treasure Tribe content. Okay, it's got our fun graphics that our graphics team creates. It's got our Park Lane parties, our online party scripts. It has back office how-to videos. It's got new stylist training. Like it is going to be kind of like your Bible at Park Lane. Okay, so that is who you heard from. And so be sure that you have downloaded that app if you could while we're talking. If not, don't worry about it. I'm actually going to share my screen and show you some things there so you can see and hear. But that's what we're going to focus on today. So I am actually going to screen share right now. So let me actually get to the well, before I screen share, actually, let me say this. Many of you here, many of you might have been a stylist, or excuse me, might have been a hostess. You might have just had a friend that brought you in. In fact, I'd love to know if you were a hostess, type a 2 in the comments. I know, Tracy is my direct recruit. Tracy actually was a party guest this last week. So people come lots of different ways. Maybe you've watched a friend, but I'll tell you, most of our stylists are hostesses first. Not always, but most are hostesses first. So it's interesting. We've got several here. And you might have joined thinking, okay, maybe like Mar shared, you know, she had special needs son, she had debt. You might have come with like a financial mission. You might have come going, I want just a little extra money. You might have come going, I am retired and I kind of am wanting a community to be a part of. Maybe you're like, I love jewelry. I don't know what the heck I want to do with this, but I thought I'd just try it. Like I didn't say I loved jewelry. I loved fashion. My two sisters were going to do this, actually just one at the time, but I was like, I'll do it with her. Like that was my business plan. Okay. I had no clue what I was doing. But once I got in, my vision changed. And so what your vision is today, it'd be fun to write a note to yourself and go, okay, today, this is what I'm thinking. And then talk to yourself again in a month, because once you get into our team and our company and you have your launch party and you have your first couple of parties, your vision may very likely change. And that's what's so exciting, is because you really just don't know what this opportunity can be for you. So, all right, let's get into our Treasure Tribe board. So in our boards app, it's alphabetical, you guys. And so you just scroll down to the folder that says New Stylist Start here. Okay, so I'm going to click on that. In here, we have got a video from Tish, who is our upline. She's actually my for real big sister. So if our voices sound alike, that's why. People will always tell us, oh my gosh, when I don't see your faces, I think you're Tish. So anyway, this is Tish welcoming you. And I want to take a second to talk about this. So I actually put this in our training here. I feel that if you're a little nervous, that well, first of all, it's very normal when you're like, I don't really know what I'm doing. But that's really where the fun starts, because the fun, I believe, in life is when we get out of our own way and we try things that we're proud of ourselves for. Whether that is like, I know, I don't know if Misty Simpson's still on here. Misty was on here a second ago. Misty went to Paris for the first time. She actually, her name was drawn out of a hat from Park Lane. She didn't earn the trip. Her name was drawn out of a hat, because we do that during the trip earning periods. And she had never been to Europe. And she was so daggum scared for lots of reasons. And she had the time of her life. Okay. So getting out of our own way really is where the fun in life starts. I just want to commend all of you for doing something new. And I also find that as we get older, at least for myself, I'm 51, that it gets harder to try new things. And so if some of these things feel a little out of your comfort zone, you're growing. Because I've heard, and you probably have too, if you're not growing, you're dying. As we get older, it's really harder to challenge ourselves because it gets real easy to stay in that comfort zone. So if some of these things feel a little nerve-wracking, you are normal, and we're going to grow, and you're going to be way more comfortable with the stuff come a month from now. Okay. So we're going to click on New Stylist Start here. And I want to point out that we've broken our training down into the first 48 hours, first 7 days, first 30 days, et cetera, 14, 30, whatever, 60. Okay. So it kind of gives you little bite sizes to check off as you go along. If you click on the first 48 hours, there is actually our glam plan. Okay. This is basically just a PDF form of a checklist for you to go through. You know, it's funny. How many of you guys are the checklist people? Like, type checklist in the chat because you can, there's some people that are like, yes, I have to have the paper and I want to check it off. And then there's some people that are like, oh no, thank you. So we have it for those different brains, but basically our glam plan goes through everything that we're going to cover. Okay. So in your first few days, 48 hours, you're going to want to go through some of these things. Like, for example, accept the invitations to our Facebook groups. The person that brought you into the business will add you to our different Facebook groups. You can also look in here and click on them and request to join yourself. Okay. So there are some great things in here that will help you Join as many or as little that your mind is comfortable to, because some people are like, yeah, I just want to jump in. And some people are like, no, narrow it down, Christy, because I don't want to overwhelm myself. Okay. We're all different and there's no right or wrong. All right. How many of you guys have ordered your jewelry? Type in the chat jewelry. If you've ordered your jewelry, that's something that you'll want to do. You will receive a welcome email that has a link for your samples. That link is good for 7 days. Okay. And just click it and start ordering until the amount that you've paid for, whichever kit you pay for, is finalized. Many of you, and one of the reasons why I did this training is we had the offer that we thought would end Wednesday, but it didn't, where our new stylist would get $100 extra in jewelry. And so many of you join and they're now getting a little bit extra. So that's fun. So let me just gonna mute some lines. Hold on. Okay. So you want to make sure you do that. And let me address this as well. Park Lane limits some items not being available to new stylists. And I want to explain why, and I want to explain how you can get those items. Park Lane is not, does not have a magic, ball where they can like figure out exactly what's going to sell. We try to forecast and we have 68 years of experience. They do a pretty darn good job, but some of the pieces they may notice that are lower in stock. Maybe they're having an issue getting them quicker from the manufacturer. Maybe they're brand new pieces and they weren't sure, like our Caribbean collection, how quickly they're going to sell. They want them to remain available to the customer. And they don't want you as a stylist to order something as a new stylist that might then be on back order because all of a sudden stock got, low. And then you get your kit in and you're like, I don't have all the pieces I got to do my party. And then you're frustrated. There are hundreds of pieces on our website. So you got plenty to choose from. So I always tell new stylists, make an A list and make a B list. Okay. Your A list is what you're going to get with your kit. Your B list is what you're going to get with your hostess credits as a new stylist at your launch party. That is one of the reasons you want to have a 10+ order launch. And that's one of the reasons why you want to do everything I'm going to tell you. Follow your upline suggestions and don't question her. Just turn off your brain back here and just do the effort, because we want you earning that additional free jewelry to get those additional pieces that you want for free. Park Lane doesn't want you to have to pay for it. All right. So that's how you can get everything you want. So I want to address that. Okay. Let's move on to scheduling your launch party. So I just mentioned that. So what I suggest with my new stylist is, and for example, yesterday I was planning a launch, and I'm like, okay, let's do it in the next 7-10 days. Did I not say that, Tracy? So I like to get it kicked off immediately. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to go back to this. The more time, guess what happens? The nerves set in. And the quicker you get going, the less apprehension you have, the more excitement you have, the comments you have coming in from your circle of influence, your friends you've invited, the quicker you earn income, the happier you are, the happier your partner is, all the things. The quicker you do, the better it is. And especially if you're launching online, nobody's dusting their baseboards. Nobody's cutting carrots, cleaning toilets. This is online. And your sponsor is most likely doing your party. So she's got her system down. So she's scheduling your posts. She's planning to do the live. You have 2 jobs during that time period. And I'll tell you what those 2 jobs are in a little bit. But I always say get your launch scheduled within the first 7 to 10 days. Okay. So you got your launch scheduled. Yay. Now what do you want to do? You want to post an announcement of your business. Okay. In this folder, we've got some sample words that you can use, but I want everybody to pinky promise me that you will not copy paste these because these are not going to sound like Jeanette. These are not going to sound like Lisa. These are not going to sound like Robin or Jennifer. They are going to sound like maybe me. I might have wrote these. I don't know. These don't sound very corporate, actually. We want it to sound like something you would say. So if you're from the South and you say y'all, or if you say, hey girl, or if you say, whatever, make it sound like you, but share that you've started this business. But this does kind of give you a little bit of a sample. Maybe you do Facebook, maybe you do Instagram, maybe you do stories. You could also post in your launch party group. Once your upline gets your group going, post in there. And then you can see, we say, add a photo of you with your jewelry. If you're uncomfortable posting a selfie, you can also use one of the images found in our photo bank, which I'll show you guys that here in just a few minutes. But the other idea that I have is posting a picture of your jewelry on your counter with your box. Do a video. Emily is nodding her head. Emily is so good at like videos and reels, and like take a video of your UPS man coming and drop off I did that once when one of our collections was coming. I like got in the window, like did a little video of the UPS man coming. People pay attention. TikTok is the fastest growing social media platform, and it's all full of just nonsense, so people like organic and generic and all that kind of stuff. So have fun with it. Don't feel like it's got to be perfect. Perfect doesn't sell as much these days, thank goodness. So you want to share on your social, okay? Another fun thing that I'm going to share that's not in there is do an unboxing. So I wish I had a box here, but I'm just going to take the full thing I have here. I want to give y'all a sample of what an unboxing would look like, okay? Most likely I would be in a ball cap and maybe my workout clothes, okay? Not straight from the hair salon where I look like you have to be glamorous, all right? And I would have those boxes in front of me and the tag would still be hanging on the jewelry, and I would hold it up and I would go, oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so excited. I have to show you the jewelry that just came. I don't even know the names of these, but I have to show y'all. Look at this necklace. Oh my God, look at these beads. The pearls are so gorgeous. I'm not sure I'm going to wear this, but I love it. Okay. I don't even know how much it costs. And I want to show y'all this. Look at this bracelet. Y'all, this is all old stuff. This is like so if you're looking for these pieces, you're not going to find them, but it stretches. Oh my gosh. It's a brushed metal. Look how pretty that's going to be. I cannot wait for my party Thursday. Y'all have to pop on. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Not perfect. Just organic and fun and real and be you. Okay. So that's a really fun thing to do. Whether you do it in your party group or no, my cat's wanting to eat my granola bar. Sorry, y'all. No. Or you do it on your personal Facebook page. I know. What did that do? When I said that, did that do this? Did you kind of go, oh, I don't know about that? If so, maybe that's where the fun starts. Okay. Sometimes those little like, is maybe what we should do. So anyway, I want to mention that as well. Okay. Something else. This is a housekeeping thing. One of my favorite communication channels we have within our team is Telegram. It's an app, and Telegram actually, we have one for our treasure tribe, a channel where Tish will send out communication. Like, I'm going to show y'all, for example, today we got adorable images. Okay. And so we had this beautiful bracelet launch this morning. You guys might've seen it. And so let me just show you. So this morning, I'm not kidding. I wish this had the time on it. It doesn't have, 9:57 a.m. 9:57 a.m. Tish dropped in our Telegram channel. Let me do this. All these adorable images of this bracelet that we can share. We don't have to go make them. They come from our Telegram channel. We also have a team Telegram channel for reels. So like Emily's nodding her head. Emily actually creates some of those. There's other stylists in the team that'll make them for themselves and they share with the community. We have a massively sharing community. And so there's a reels channel, and you can just get those straight to your phone and share them, so you'll want to subscribe to our Telegram channel. So that's there. Okay. So that's about it for first 48 hours. Okay, so let's go into some of the good stuff. This is the first 7 days. All right. Tish actually trains here and does a new stylist training. I highly encourage you to take a peek at that, maybe when you're in bed tonight or on the couch. Okay. She's going to share a few different things. So it's always good to hear from somebody else. Allie here is my baby sister, actually. It's my big sister. This is my baby sister. I'm the middle. She talks about our Park Lane programs. Okay. And when I say that, it is what I mean. It's like our hostess rewards. It's our Rich Rewards Club, which is our monthly free jewelry program. It's our Mercedes Car Club. It's our Fast 50s program. It's what else? I'm missing something, I'm sure. But she talks about all of them in there. So I'm not going to get into the details of the hostess plan and all that. I do want to focus on our Rich Rewards Club for a second. Okay. This was literally one of the reasons I was attracted to Park Lane. I had been with the company for 10 years. And one of the things I heard so much was, I don't like spending money on the product. I want to keep my money in my pocket. How many of you guys feel that way? Like, what I have found with working with women for 16 years and myself, we as women spend money on our families and in our community. You know, yes, we do go buy the pair of boots or maybe the cute new pairs of jeans or whatever. Okay. But our money goes to our family. And so we want to keep it in our pocket. All right. And so Park Lane has this amazing program where every month you can earn anywhere from $250 in jewelry to $1,100 in jewelry. Okay. So I'm going to talk through the levels so you understand them. But level 1, when you submit $1,000 in sales, the first 2 commission weeks of the month, you get $250 in free jewelry. Okay. Every month you submit 1,000 in the first 2 weeks, you get $250 in jewelry and you get to go shopping. And that free jewelry you can use to show on your parties, to use as giveaways, whatever you choose. You can use them for your Christmas gifts if you wanted to, I guess. Okay. So every month, if you did that every month, you would have $3,000 extra in jewelry in a year. So on one of our training calls recently, somebody said, are you maxing out everything that Park Lane has to offer you? And of course, all of us could probably say no, not everything. But this is one of the things I think of when I think this is one of the simplest things to maximize when you join Park Lane and even several, years in. It's free. Okay. So level 2, when you submit 2,500 in the first 3 weeks of the month, 3 commission weeks, you get that month's designer piece. And every month it's a gorgeous piece that's worth over $100. Okay. I don't remember what last month's was, but this was 2 months ago, I think. Hold on, let me show y'all just to give you an idea. This was, I think, maybe February's or March. I don't remember. I get them all confused. You're going to start getting so much jewelry in the mail. You're going to be like, what did I earn this for? It's a really wonderful thing. Park Lane is a hugely incentivizing company. So this was one of the pieces that we got. Absolutely gorgeous. And the fun thing about those pieces is they become available to your customers the following month. So you can earn it for free and then you have it to show. Do you have to have it to show? No, because guess what? Our Telegram channel has all sorts of pictures of everything that comes out. So you've got pictures to sell, which is another beautiful thing. You don't have to have everything. Okay, so level 3, when you submit 4,000 in the month, the whole month now, you get $300 in free jewelry. Okay. Number 4 and 5 are based on sponsoring. So bringing people into the business. So when you sponsor 2 personal recruits, then you get $300 in free. Sponsor another 2, you get another $300 in free jewelry. Okay. So I'm going to pause on that for a second. I'm going to take my share screen away. I mentioned this before at the beginning of starting. Many of you might have jumped, joined and gone. You might have been like me. I was not interested in building a team. I didn't even know what that was. Honestly, it sounded a little bit scary. Okay. But what I found 15 years ago was I had one person join me and I was like, oh my God, this is way more fun. This is way more fun. Like, I enjoyed helping her. My other company didn't have what Park Lane offers. Here, when you bring one person along, and she sells $1,000. Okay. That's all we got to do. Get her to 1,000. You've done your 1,000 in your time period before. You bump up a level and you go from 30% to 35%. You give yourself a 5% forever raise. So I like to pause on that because I think sometimes when we're new, we don't even think that we're like, oh, I got to know what I'm doing. No, you don't. We just get on the call like this. We help you. Your upline's going to know, oh, she's new and she brought somebody new. I'll help her. But you really do get rewarded and it's so much more fun. So I just wanted to pause on that before we went on to some of the other programs. So that's the Rich Rewards program. Okay. So let's talk about, you've got your launch party scheduled. Okay. Now, what do we want to do? We want to send out a save the date. Okay. So down here, we've got options for words. Okay. On sending your save the date. Your upline will help you with this, but here's why we like to do this. Okay. I'm going to hold on a second. Okay. Oh, wait, shoot, y'all. I skipped over making your list. Okay, let me back up. Let me back up a second. You got to have a list to send people to, right? You got to have a list of people you're going to send it to. Okay, let's talk about making your list real quick. Oops. Oh, there we go. Okay. Making your list of people. This is a really great video to watch. This is our friend Sarah, and she talks about who do you know? Okay. We call it your who do you know list. And it's not who do you think likes jewelry? Who do you think wants to shop? Who likes me? Who likes Park Lane? Who have I talked to in the last 6 months? No, it's who do you know? And Sarah talks about how to expand your brain. I highly suggest listening to this because I can guarantee you, text me if I'm wrong and I will send you a pair of earrings, but you'll be lying. You are going to expand your mind when you listen to Sarah. Okay. Because we like to say, focus on a Frank list, which is Frank stands for friends, relatives, acquaintances, neighbors, kids. Okay. Kids, or meaning either your kids' friends' parents, or if you don't have kids or not, or you do have kids still, you're friends with kids. It's just a way to get your brain branching out. Because this is just an invitation, you guys. And the more you will invite when you're new, you have an opportunity to be new once. Be new. Reach out. I'm going to tell you guys 2 stories. Okay. So I really do want you to take this for real. So 16 years ago on November, I don't know, 7th or 14th or something, I did my first party of my life of 2008. First party of my life. And I am very coachable, which is why I have done well in this business. I knew nothing about the profession, but in the training, I got like this. This is pre-Zoom, but they said, invite everyone that you know, even if they're out of town. Okay. This was in the in-person days, like Mara was talking about at the beginning of the call. This was not Facebook. I mean, now you can invite anybody from anywhere across the country, but they told us, invite even if they're out of town, they may shop your website. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do what they tell me. I invited a friend from high school. So at this time I was 35. It had been a long time since I was in high school, but I invited a friend from high school who lived in Houston. I'm in Dallas. If you do not know Texas geography, that's 4 hours different, ways. Well, she couldn't come, but she forwarded the email to her mother and sister who live in my town. The mother and sister came, probably just to be nice. Yay. Her sister spent $400, and she was one of my first parties I booked. That would have never happened if I let my brain and what I thought take over. Because the invitation went to somebody 4 hours away. So be coachable. Don't limit who you invite because you genuinely do not know. That girl loved the jewelry. I went to her house and did a party. Her name is Christy as well. Okay. Her friend came, Jen Coca. I never even saw the woman come. She came, she left. The next day I get a call. you probably don't remember me, but I came by to support my friend Christy, but I think I want to join the company. That was my first stylist of my entire career. Okay, that's story number one. Here's another story. This was in like 2009. And I was working for an incentive. The company was giving, it was like a big thing, like a trip, okay? We were going to Santa Monica. And if you got to if you earned it and you earned the top echelon, you got a $3,000 shopping spree with a celebrity stylist in Santa Monica. Okay, well, y'all don't know Christy yet, but that's right up my alley. I was like, oh my Lord, that is nothing I would ever do in my entire life. And I was a fashion major, like, oh my goodness. But now this is from Walmart. Okay. So like, I'm not shopping these fancy places, but I was like, oh my God, this is like a once in a lifetime opportunity. I needed to sell $3,000 in 48 hours. And this is pre-social media. Okay. What do? I got on the phone with calling people, asking for support, literally my parents, friends from my childhood, et cetera. It was right before Valentine's Day, thank God. So I had that to go. But one of the suggestions by somebody was have a party at your house and go put flyers in everybody's mailbox.
You're
So I was
so
like,
welcome.
okay. So I did it. I planned a party at my house that Sunday. I went around the neighborhood on Saturday and put flyers in the mailbox. I had a very small neighborhood, like 25 houses. I did not put an invitation in the mailbox with the lady across the street. Her husband had committed suicide about 6 weeks prior. We were not real close. I knew her. Her name's Jamie. But I felt like, oh my gosh, I felt self-serving. Okay. Sunday comes and my next door neighbor is walking across the grass and she sees Jamie. And Jamie said, they're talking. She says, well, what are you doing? Oh, I'm going to Christie's to a jewelry party. Do you want to go with me? And she was like, okay. She came in and she spent $200. And when she left my house, she said to me, this is exactly what I needed. So shame on me, because I made the decision for her not to invite her based on my own preconceived notions. So I love to share this story because you don't know what people need. And it could be as simple as they need Mother's Day gifts. They need graduation gifts. They have a wedding shower they have to go to. It's a bride who needs bridal, jewelry. What are all the things going on right now? Confirmations, whatever, summer travel, and they want some jewelry for that. It could be as simple as that. Or it could be, I'm really down and a little bit of sparkle may make me feel better. And you don't know who that person is. So I like to spend a lot of time on this topic because I have seen through years, and this may actually sting a little bit, we limit who we invite because of our own fears. And so just open your brains and really think, I'm just going to invite, I'm going to extend the invitation. The worst thing that's going to happen is they're not going to attend. Who cares? And guess what? They may watch you for a little bit and then in 2 or 3 or 4 months go, hey, I'd like to buy those earrings you've been wearing. I've been watching those. Okay. So I spend time on that. So I want you guys to really, really, really think about who you can invite to your launch, and you can watch Sarah here. All right. I encourage people to invite around 50 to 100 people. And I encourage you to personally invite them. And you might have just sat there and gone, oh my God, Christy, are you serious? Yeah, I am. I'm dead serious. I'm going to tell you why. So here's the save the date messages here that you can use, and you can tailor them to yourself. But think about this. Do you pay attention to all the Facebook events that you get invited to or Facebook groups? No. Like I miss so many. I could be off of, I'm very active in social media because of this profession. I could be off my phone for 1 hour and have 50 to 99 notifications. There's no way, and that's not because I'm important, it's just because I'm in this business. There's no way I could ever see everything. I was invited to my new niece's 1-year-old birthday party, And the grandmother texted me an hour before asking me if I was coming. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. What was a Facebook event that was done? Facebook invitation. I felt awful. I never saw it. So you can't expect others to do the same. You are way more inclined to participate in something when somebody has personally invited you. That is why I like the save the date. Okay. It makes them feel like, oh, Natalie really wants me there. Oh, Lisa really wants me there. Oh, Tracy really wants me there. Okay, I'll pay more attention. That's our reaction. Doesn't mean you're going to shop. Doesn't mean that, you know, they owe you the world. Doesn't mean that, I don't know what else, but it just, it feels better to the receiver that you took the time to make them feel noticed, okay, or needed or appreciated or wanted or, you know, desired, whatever you want to say. Okay. So personally message around 50 to 100. It is going to take you some time, but in the beginning, what did I say? You're going to have 2 jobs during this process. Your upline is going to be making your group, posting your post, doing your live video. Here are your 2 jobs: to invite, and then to ask your top, your reach out. We're about to talk about this. Reach out to your top 10 people to ask them to be one of your first hostesses. Okay. So I'm going to take it off screen share for a second to hit this point home. These are my like hot buttons. So you have your launch planned, right? We've got our dates. And if you don't, when you get off this, text with your upline. Okay. I want you to have that date. Something that I find to be a pitfall is that if people wait for their launch, do their launch, and then they're like, now what? It doesn't feel as great as if you have your launch scheduled and then you get a couple of other ladies that say, yes, I'll be one of your first hostesses. And you've got those dates on the calendar following your launch. All of a sudden, you have a business plan. It's all it takes is dates. Like in party planning, it is all about the date. When your calendar is full, it's way more fun than when it looks like this. And you're like, you know, so I like to encourage to get 2 to 3 dates on your calendar prior to executing your launch party. And here are words for you to do it. Okay, reach out to your top 10. So you've got your list of people. You're going to pick 10, you guys, that you're going to reach out to. And here are some sample words that you can send to them. And actually, you know what I'm going to do, y'all? I'm going to copy paste these and I'm going to put them in the chat real quick because they're in the board, but I don't want any excuses. Y'all save these. I'm going to walk through these words. And this is actually called booking training. Whether you are your first day in or you are, you know, Emily's been in for 6 years. You're like Emily Taylor, you've been for 6 years. It's the same process. Okay, so let me walk through some of these. Of course, the words would change if you were not brand new, but I recently was introduced to Park Lane Jewelry and fell in love with the jewelry and the amazing sale. The jewelry is gorgeous, affordable, and has a wonderful guarantee. I loved it so much, I decided to become a rep for them to earn extra income for fill in the blank. Whatever that is for you. And maybe it's not income. Maybe it's, since I retired, I was, looking for a community and fun. Or I decided to become a rep for them because Mira went off to college. That's my daughter. I decided to become a rep for them because I'm paying for private school. I decided to become a rep for them because, Jared lost his job. I mean, you don't want to become sappy because, then it kind of like feels desperation. But, whatever your reason is, put it there because personalization people connect with. If it sounds too generic, they're going to know that it was copy paste. Okay. So next paragraph, because you are so stylish for whatever reason you thought of them. Okay. Whatever reason. And love a good deal. I'd love to shower you with free jewelry, with a free jewelry shopping spree as one of my debut hostesses. Okay. So I'm going to stop right there for a second. Why would you think of certain people? And I literally want you guys to like unmute yourself. Who have you thought of? As I talked about like your Hooting and O list and who you're going to invite, I would love to know, who have you thought of that you would like to be one of your first hostesses? And I want to know why you thought of her. And I'm going to give some examples. Like my daughter is in basketball. So there's a group of basketball moms. So my reason may be, all the basketball moms, or I thought of you because you're a realtor and you have to get dressed up all the time. So I'm curious, what are some things that have come to y'all's heads with who you would like to ask? Anyone? Maybe it's your sister? Anyone willing? If you're willing to share, it's going to give somebody an idea too. So that'll be helpful. Jeanette, did you unmute yourself?
Yeah, it did. So I was thinking about some of the people I work with. They're generally on Zoom calls or Teams meetings throughout the day, so they're still dressing up as professionals. I also thought about like my daughter and my sister because they're my supporters. They're the ones who are going to try to help me succeed.
Okay, you literally just wrote paragraph number 2.
Mhm.
Like what you just said. I thought of you because you're on Zoom or Teams all day, and I know that you have to dress up. I thought of you because clearly you're my support system in life, and I want to start with you. Those are awesome. Jennifer's saying my mom because she has a lot of lady friends that love jewelry. See, this is personal. Like Tracy, did you want to say?
Yeah, I have a friend in Fort Worth. She works at a bank, so
Always
I know
dress.
she's been having, yes, and she's like, I just don't have no jewelry. And then I was like, yeah, should be perfect.
See, so your brain's going to start working like this. Like you're going to start thinking, okay, what is who, and then why. Okay, so let me go back to the words. Thank you guys so much because it's just going to help other people. Okay, so for whatever reason, I'd love to shower you with the free shopping spree as one of my debut hostesses. As a thank you for helping me get my business going, I'm throwing in an extra $100 in free jewelry from me in addition to the super generous hostess perks from Park Lane. I'm going to explain that in a second, y'all. Would you be willing to be one of my 3 friends to debut host with me? I have X date and X date available. Which works better for you? Okay, so let me talk through this and the why behind this. I'm throwing in an extra 100. Okay, this is another one of Park Lane's programs that I mentioned earlier when we were talking about like the hostess rewards and the rich rewards, free jewelry program, etc. This is called our Fast 50s. And whether it is, your debut host or any host, you have the opportunity at Park Lane to offer either an extra $50 or $100 in jewelry, and it costs you $10 each. You can offer that to any hostess. Okay. Do you have to? No. Our host plan is amazing. All right. And there's going to be lots of ways on training calls that you're going to hear our amazing team use these Fast 50s. As a newbie, we suggest, hold on, let me just mute. As a newbie, we suggest using it to say my first 3 debut hostesses. I will do this for, because what that does is it makes them feel like you're doing something special for them because you are. And it also creates a sense of urgency. Like, okay, well, baby, I want to be one of the first because I'm getting an extra perk. She's giving me an extra perk. Okay. So we suggest doing that. Now, let me just say, if you have 6 people tell you, Karen, I want to do it. Guess what? Give it to 6. Don't say, oh, sorry, you were number 5. No, get those 6 parties booked. Okay. Text me if that happens because you will be leading a training call. I'll be so proud of you. So that's the first thing in this paragraph. And then this is key. So key, whether you're brand new or you are years in, offer 2 dates. And I'm going to explain why. It minimizes the amount of time people have to make, it minimizes the stress of making a decision because they're already making the decision. Can I do this? Do I want to do this? And then they say yes to you. And then you're like, okay, well, let me send you some dates. But right here, they can literally go, okay, the 13th and the 23rd. Okay, yeah, I'm open the 23rd. Bam, done. Because a lot of times people in their mind are like, oh my God, I'm so busy. Like, I don't even know when I can do that. I like to give the example of, are you ever at Kroger? That's a grocery store if you're not from the South. And you see a friend and you're like, oh my gosh, we have to go. We have to meet up. We got to have lunch. And you're thinking in your head, oh my God, I have so much to do. There's the kids, this and that. It's graduation season. And I don't know where I'm going to fit that in. But you really want to. But if she said, we've got to do lunch, what are you doing Thursday? Then you can go, okay, Thursday works. Do you see what I'm saying? Versus just like, just, can you do this? And you're like, when? So throwing out 2 dates highly increases your booking averages. And if they say no to those 2 dates, typically on the 3rd date, they don't say no. Okay. Now, okay. What if they say no to booking with you? Guess what? Who cares? We have words. Most often we're most nervous to ask because we don't know what to say if they say no. It feels like awkward. So we have words here. No problem. I totally get it. You can come to my launch party coming up. I'll show the jewelry, share the sell, and we'll have giveaways. Would you like an invite to that? So do you see why this process is set up this way? Like your responsibility is inviting to your launch. And of course, your upline is going to give you some hostess coaching, that you'll want to comment in the group and, this kind of thing. But your second job is to ask 10 as you're going through this process. And if they say they can't, invite them to your launch, because what happens is most likely they'll come shop. Most likely they will come shop because they've already said no to you. Okay. So, and not that we're trying to guilt people, but typically it just takes them shopping Park Lane once and they're like, this quality is awesome. They get a compliment on their earring and they're like, oh, they're starting to feel good about it. So it's just getting it in their hands. So these are, I just went through your first 48 hours, your first 7 days. I like to drill it down because this is the most important thing. If you don't have parties, you don't need to know anything else. And I want to keep it real simple because when you get into that boards app and you're like, oh my Lord, there's so much here. I got to listen to this, got to listen to that, got to listen. No, you just need to get your launch party set, start inviting, and ask your first 10. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to share with y'all is just where to find a few things. Okay. So I'm going to go back into our boards app and I want to share with you. Okay. Some of my favorite folders here are your back office tech how-tos. These are videos that we've created as a team. How do I book a party in the back office to get a shopping link? All of y'all need to create a shopping link so that you have a link to your launch. How do I do a return? How do I build and share a cart? Because you'll need to know that, and your upline will help you timely, not today, but as you get closer to your launch date. How do I check my party sales? How do I close and redeem? So I point this out because of course you can ask your upline, but uplines here, I'm going to say this, the best thing you can do is screenshot and circle where you can find the video, because trying to share that over the phone is much harder than watching on a video. Okay. So you can kind of watch the screen, etc. This is going to be one of your favorite boards until you get everything, down. The other thing you're going to love is our Facebook party board. And that literally is a party, what to do from point A to point Z. It's like step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, okay, every single day. And your upline will help you with that. But just know it's here. You don't have to create anything. That's our Facebook party board. And then I want to show you our photo bank. And you can get lost in here, but this is where we have all of our images saved, and they're beautiful, like countdown images. And we've got Caribbean Dream images from our new Caribbean Dream collection. We've got covers and invitations. So, let's go down here, a new stylist launch. There's some, cubes and stuff for new stylist launches. So there's lots of things in here that you have available to you. Don't waste your time. And just like, you know, if you don't have dates and you haven't done your invites, you don't need to do any of that, because I want you making money. But those are there. So when the timing's right, you've got, you know, that, and your upline can help you with all that. So there's lots in here, but I wanted to point out those things specifically. So, okay. We've got a couple of minutes. I would just love to open it up with any questions, or some of you experienced people. If there's something that you've thought of that maybe I missed out on, or you're like, I really want to share this. This has been really helpful for me. Please feel free. Yeah, or unmute yourself if you have a question.
I'll jump in, Christy.
Please.
So, ladies, I know boards can look so intimidating. Let me tell you, I just started year 6 with Park Lane, and it's still intimidating.
Me too. When I created half of it, I'm like, where is it?
So just take the little pieces that you need and let the rest of it just kind of sit over there and simmer. And then at a certain time, you're going to need to know how to do a return. And we have it for you in boards, and you go dig it up and you look for it, right? And you watch the training then. So instead of trying to learn it all right this minute, just grab the little pieces that you need, which is most importantly is your launch party and getting extra parties on the books.
True that. Thank you, Emily. Anybody else have any pearls of wisdom to guide our newbies?
I will say something. This is Lisa. And guys, my new stylist is not on. I hope, Christy, will she be able to watch this later?
Yes, Jeanette reminded me to record it. So yes.
Okay, great. But I've only actually been a stylist for like 2 months. And so I got my first stylist. And so that's why I'm on here, because I wanted to hear everything Christy had to say, that will help me in, you know, getting her, bring her up, you know, and teach her everything. I will just say that, well, I have an amazing upline too, who sponsored me. But I was, you know, trying to do it. I looked at boards. I listened to what they said, and I just kind of jumped in and tried my first party. And actually, my first hostess was my granddaughter, who I actually just signed up. But I didn't know, and I really wasn't doing very good hostess coaching with her, and so my first party didn't go very well. But then what I did is you know, the very next training that they had, whoever I listened to, I just took so many notes. I learned every time I had a party that didn't go well, I just plugged into the information that they provide you. There's so much training every day. They're doing some kind of training. And if you don't get to watch it live, because, you know, I work during the day, so I usually go back and watch it. If it's during my lunch, sometimes I could do it, but a lot of times I go back and watch it on replay. And I picked up and learned so much. And by the time I did my third party, that one was successful. And I ended up using all of the posts that they had in boards. You know, I just used as much of that training that I was able to get. So I would just say, make some time, carve out some time to just go into boards and just, you know, give yourself 30 minutes or however much time that you have, go in boards and just click on something you haven't clicked on before. But because there's so much information there's so much for you to learn. I've still got some that I haven't looked at yet, but yeah, anytime this kind of training is available to you, oh my gosh, these people, she is not kidding. There are so many experienced people, and they all have one little nugget of something that you haven't heard from somebody else, and you just write it all down, and it's just been so extremely helpful. Emily is another one. You know, I've picked up stuff from Emily too. So
Lisa, thank you for sharing that, because I think what you said that I want most of y'all to take away is what Lisa said. Her first couple of parties were not the greatest. Okay, so honestly, that's the best nugget we could leave on. I mean, I'm not saying somebody else can't say something. I'm just saying it will happen, you guys. You may not have the best launch of your life. you may have a great launch, and then you do your first party yourself or your second party yourself, and you're like, you got 2 or 3 orders, and you're like, "Ugh, what I don't want you to do is go, this just isn't working for me." No. Pull up our big girl panties. That just means we got to learn. My first 2 online parties, I'd been an in-person business for 12 years. And then we went online during the pandemic. My first 2 online parties, I had 0 orders. My third party, I got 3 orders. I had to keep learning. And so, just know it's a learning process. And Lisa was telling me, we were talking this morning, and she was like, she finally had her 10 order party, which we always talk about a 10 order party because that's where our hostess can max out her benefits. She finally had one because she kept tweaking. And so that's what I would love for you guys to take away from what Lisa said. And our training, I'm glad you brought that up. We actually have several calls a week that you can participate in, live or recorded. You will start getting text messages from our team reminding you of those days. But just so you know, Mondays at noon Central Time is our greater team, and it's called the Treasure Talk. And it's great. It's typically one of you speaking. I mean, our head honcho Tish, kicks it off, but typically one of the team is sharing their nuggets, like Lisa said. Then every Thursday, our promotions come out on Thursday. Our weeks close on a Wednesday, you guys. Everything you submit that week by Wednesday, you get paid. On Friday, you get a commission statement, and then it's in your account come Tuesday. But our weeks close on Wednesday. And so Thursday, all the new promotions come out. So Thursday morning, we get together and we have coffee talk, which is just, it's honestly my sisters and I that do it together. So it's a little smaller than our bigger group. But that's at 11 o'clock Central Time. So you can pop on that, like Lisa said, if it's your lunch hour or not, whatever, And then on Saturdays, I call it our weekend warrior call. It's our system Saturday. And, for those that can't, well, anybody can join in, but I like to have a live call for those that can't do live ones in the week. And that's at 9:30 on Central Time. And poor Mar's on the Pacific Coast. Sometimes she's on at 7:30 in the morning, her time. So anyway, you can pop on with your coffee, whatever. But tomorrow we're actually having a blitz on our system Saturday. So that's our training schedule. That's a lot, I know. But just, know it's out there, and you'll start getting reminders, and we'd love to have you. You will, like Lisa said, pick up on nuggets. And the more you are able to absorb yourself into the information and community, the more encouragement you will feel, because we're just better together. So, all right, guys, it is Friday night. I get to go to a 6th grade theater program, a dinner theater, with my new stepson. So I'm going to be headed to that, but I hope you guys have picked up something, and you're ready. And we are just really excited to have you a part of our community. So thanks for tuning in, and I will share the recording. Bye, guys.